Hey, Simply Sugar here. Let's discuss what happens next. So, with all of this Epstein fallout. So, let's say Donald Trump goes for impeachment. What happens? So, the House votes to impeach Trump for alleged misconduct, obstruction, conspiracy, or abuse of power related to Epstein documents. The Senate holds a trial, but it doesn't reach the 67 vote threshold required to convict or remove him. What are the consequences to all of this? So I've been thinking about it, right? If he doesn't get impeached, does this um does this make a difference to his base? I mean, pretty much the left, he's guilty, we want him out. Fine. What happens to his base if he remains in office, but he loses face with them depending on what evidence comes out? Because remember, it's a trial. So there's going to be evidence presented, there's going to be evidence presented for removal, and that evidence is going to be stuff in the Epstein files, right? The obstruction of him and Pam Bondi, along with those FBI agents trying to cover their tracks and doctor that video. Would the Republican Party, along with the Democrats, well, the Democrats will do it, but will the Republican Party do it? That's the question, right? Where does this lead if all the truth comes out and we find out that this is an obstruction case? If he doesn't get convicted and continues on, I feel like his own base, some will remain loyal, but I think this will turn a lot of them off because this is what he promised to clear the swamp. And here he is in the deep, dark state doing what the deep, dark state does, which is against whatever they believe in. If he stays in office, all right, okay, so if he's convicted, now let's run that scenario. What happens? The House convicts him, removes him. J.D. Vance gets to be president. Now he's problematic, and he's a great example of what someone who is Caucasian looks like, who married a brown person but is still racist. He's like the poster child for that scenario. And he's very problematic, but this is not about him. So Trump gets impeached and removed. Does he go to trial in regular court, in federal court, in state court? Does he go to trial? I happen to think that J.D. Vance will pardon him in federal court because he wants to keep their political party together, and he actually needs that base if he wants to run for re-election. He's going to need that commitment from those people, and a way to appease them is to pardon him. Now, if there's state charges presented, that's out of his hands. But then do they bump him off? Let's just be honest. Let's run the scenarios. Do they bump him off, or does he die of natural causes? What happens there? Will it be chaos? Will there be riots like January 6th of his base? Which I'm thinking is the case. And I'm sure that this is a topic of conversation in Washington, D.C. And this is another reason why they need time. They need time to run these scenarios of which is the best path forward. What is your opinion on this? Let me know. I'm curious to see what do you think? Or do you think he just resigns for health reasons? Like, what do you think is the next move? I'm Simply Sugar.